Prof. Yamato Suji from Ishinomaki Sensei University, Japan, and Mr. Kurnia Ilham MSE from Copenhagen, Denmark. TSSE MSE, and Vice Dean for Financial and Personnel Administration, Dr. Abdul Malik SAG MSE. And also, we welcome all the participants of the international guest lecture with the theme Indonesian Primates, Ecology, and Conservation. First and foremost, let us express our gratitude and praise to the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most compassionate and merciful. For with Allah's permission, today we gather here to participate in the international guest lecture organized by the Biology Study Program of UIN Sultan Toha Saifuddin Jambi. We extend our prayers and greetings to our revered Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who guided us from the age of ignorance to an era of dignity and knowledge. And ladies and gentlemen, we would like to begin the opening ceremony. For a brief moment, we would like to invite you in your respective place to be seated to sing the Indonesian
Enggak.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is reciting prayer that will be led by Dr. Candidate Dodi Haryanto, MPD. To Mr. Dodi, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Izin untuk memimpin doa pada kegiatan pagi hari ini. Mudah-mudahan kegiatan kita dapat diberkahi oleh Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Na'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Hamdal hamidin, hamdal syakirin, hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yakafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma ighfir lana dhunubana wa liwalidina warhamhum kama rabbawna shighara. Wa lijaddina wa lijaddatina wa liman haqqun alaina wa lijami'il muslimina wal muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat innaka ala kulli syai'in qadir. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا إنك على كل شيء قدير ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار والحمد لله رب العالمين Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Mr. Dodi Haryanto MPD. We are now going to listen to the welcoming speech by the head of Biology Study Program.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Rector of UIN Sultan Taha Saifuddin Jambi, Professor Dr. Abu Rahmat, the Honorable the Dean Faculty of Science and Technology, Iskandar PhD, the guest lecturer, the Excellency Prof. Yamato Suji from Ishinomaki Sensei University, Japan, and also Mr. Kurnia Ilham from Copenhagen, Denmark. Good morning and welcome to our university. Last but not least, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let us express our gratitude and praise to the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most compassionate and merciful, for with His permission, today we gather here to participate in the international guest lecture organized by the Biology Study Program of UIN Sultan Taha Saifuddin Jambi. We extend our prayers and greetings to our Prophet Muhammad SAW, who guided us from the age of ignorance to an era of dignity and knowledge. We will always await his intercession on the day of judgment. The theme that we bring in this international guest lecture is Indonesian Primates, Ecology and Conservation. The Biology Study Program is proud to present this event for our students and all other participants from other institutions. I would like to extend our gratitude as well to the Rector of UIN Sultan Taha Saifuddin Jambi, Professor Dr. Abu Rahmat, and the Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology, who support and present here with us today. In this international guest lecture, we have invited two excellent speakers from excellent universities overseas. We have Prof. Yamato Suji from Ishinomaki Sensei University. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to share your insight and knowledge. Also, welcome to our second speaker, Mr. Kurnia Ilham. He is the head of Indonesian programs, the Longtal Makakau Project, Copenhagen, Denmark. Today, we hope that all the participants can have as many opportunities as possible to gain more knowledge, ask questions, and discuss about the Indonesian primates, ecology, and conservation. Once again, thank you and welcome to our university. We hope in the future to hold similar event offline here in our university. That is all that I would like to say. Please enjoy this event and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Mr. Bayu Kurniawan, for the speech. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is the welcoming speech by the Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology. Please welcome Mr. Iskandar SAG, MPD, MSc, MH, PhD.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Rector of UIN Sultan Taha Saifuddin Jambi, Professor Dr. Haji Abu Rahmat, MAG. Thank you, Professor, for your time. Guest lecture, The Excellency Professor Yamato Suji from Ishinomaki Sensei University, Japan, and also Mr. Kurnia Ilham, MSI, from Copenhagen, Denmark. First and foremost, let us express our gratitude and praise the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most compassionate and merciful, for with His permission today, we gather her to participate in the international guest lecture organized by the Biology Study Program of UIN Sultan Taha Saifuddin Jambi. Good morning and welcome to our university. Thank you to the Honorable Professor Yomato, Suji, and Master Ilham Kurniawan, who was willing to share knowledge with the guest lecture participant and the biology study program of Faculty of Science and Technology in particular. I really hope that this activity will not stop here, but with partnership and collaboration, we will join develop dynamic science. I need information to all of you. Currently, the Faculty of Science and Technology has 7 study programs, namely biology, chemistry, physics, information and system, statistics, architecture, and geography of information science. This international guest lecture at the Faculty of Science and Technology is the first and was initiated by the Biology Study Program in 2023. Of biological study program, namely biodiversity, conservation, and local wisdom. Jambi province is biodiversity spot in Indonesia. With the presence of the new biology study program established in nature conservation. Thank you to the biology study program, which has organized this international guest study program lecture, as well as to all attendees who have taken part in this activity. Hopefully, they will increase your insight and ideas. I hope that this international guest lecture activity can be successful. Please, Professor Yamato, to share his knowledge, experiences. Hopefully, in the future, we can building education and research collaborations. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much to our Dean for the speech. And ladies and gentlemen, let us now listen to the opening speech that will be delivered by Director of UIN Sultan Taha Saifuddin Jambi, Professor Dr. Haji Abu Rahmat MAG, who will greet us via a video recording.
Professor Yamato Suji from Ishinomaki Sensu University, Japan, and also Mr. Kurnia Ilham from Copenhagen, Denmark. Good morning and welcome to our university. The Honorable the Dean, Faculty of Science and Technology, Pak Iskandar, the Honorable the Head of Biology Study Program, Faculty of Science and Technology, Bapak Bayu Kurniawan, and all participant, committee, and volunteer. First, let's thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His abundance of grace, tawfiq, and guidance, so that we receive an abundance of His blessing for everything we do, to realize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's grace toward nature, and more specifically to make the UIN Sultan Toha Saifuddin Jambi campus to be superior in the field of science, knowledge, and technology based on Islamic values to create prosperity for society. The theme of this international guest lecture is Indonesian primates ecology and conservation, being hosted by Biology Study Program, Faculty of Science and Technology, UIN Sultan Toha Saifuddin Jambi. Indonesia is a country which is rich in primate wildlife biodiversity. From approximately 195 species of primates in the world, 37 species live in Indonesia. Around 20 types of them throughout the world can naturally only be found in Indonesia or are called endemic Indonesian primates. Many of these primates are endangered species, namely the orangutan. The existence of these orangutans in Indonesia, which only exists in Sumatra and Kalimantan, is currently very worrying due to reduction of their habitat and illegal capture for trading. This type of last primates in the world is only found in Kalimantan and Sumatra Island. Considering the important role of primates in ecosystem balance, humans have an important role to play in maintaining this balance. Through this international guest lecture initiated by the Biology Study Program, we hope that this international collaboration will not stop until now, and there will be a need for further follow-up regarding studies or research in the field of ecology and conservation as support for the development of natural science. Today, we hope that all the participants can have opportunities, as many as possible, to gain more knowledge, ask questions, and discuss about the Indonesian primates ecology and conservation. Once again, thank you and welcome to our university. We hope in the future to hold similar event offline here in our university. The last, we would like to express our gratitude to Professor Yamato Tsuji from Isinomaki Sensu University, Japan, and also Mr. Kurnia Ilham from Copenhagen, Denmark, for providing time to talk in this conference and sharing their expertise on this issue. Thank you so much. Please enjoy this conference and thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We would like to express abundant of thank you to our rector for the opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the opening ceremony. The main agenda will soon be proceeded. That is the lecture that will be given by the amazing guest lecturers, Prof. Yamato Tsuji and Mr. Kurnia Ilham, MSE, who will be guided by our moderator, the Honorable Miss Hesti Riani, MSE. To Miss Hesti, time is yours.
Thank you, Miss Yeni. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this guest lecture, which has the theme Indonesian Primates Ecology and Conservation. I am Hesti. It is my pleasure to be moderator in this section. First of all, may I briefly introduce to you our guest lecturer today. They are Professor Yamato Tsuji from Isinomaki Sensu University, Japan. Good afternoon, Professor. And the second one is Mr. Kurnia Ilham, Head of Indonesian Program, the Long Tail Macaque Project. Good afternoon, Mr. Ilham. I think you're mute. Could you hear my voice clearly, Mr. Ilham?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay. Okay, for this section in our random, there is you and Mr. Yamato Studi have the different time for presentation and also time for discussion. It is okay to make it one discussion after all presentation?
Yeah, sure. I think, yeah. Yeah, Professor G coming.
Okay.
Okay.
It is okay, Professor Yamato?
Okay, I'm ready. Okay.
Okay. The first presentation will be delivered by Professor Yamato Suji, but before that, I will read the Professor Yamato Suji CV or brief CV. Professor Yamato Suji is an associate professor at Ishinomaki Sensu University in Japan, specializing in the field of primatology. His research primarily focuses on the feeding ecology and seed dispersal of primates in both Japan and Indonesia. Recently, he has expanded his research scope to induce small mammals and flying lemurs. Dr. Suji has made significant contribution to the scientific community, having published nearly 100 high-quality research papers. Notably, one of his papers has become the most cited research article in the field of primatology, underscoring the impact of his work on the understanding of primate behavior and ecology. His dedication to advancing knowledge in this area highlights his standing as a respect figure in the field primatology. There is the short introduction about Professor Yamato Suji, and we have about 40 minutes to presentation, but you can adjust as your need. The time is yours, Mr. Yamato Suji.
Okay. Hi. Selamat siang.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, and UIN Sultan Taha Saifuddin Jambi. Thank you very much, Hesti-san, for your introduction. Yes, my name is Yamato Tsuji from Ishinomaki Senshu University. I have studied the feeding ecology of the primates since 2000, and since 2010, I started field research in Indonesia, mainly Java and also Sumatra. I have collaborated with Indonesian researchers, including Mr. Ilham and IPB and Andalas University, UIN Anda.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to collaborate with you in future. And today, I would like to give a talk about the seed dispersal by primates. Okay, I start sharing the slide with you. Can you see my slides? Okay.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, good. Okay. I will start my talk. So you can see the primates here. And this is a Javan luton. It's an endemic species in Indonesia. They distribute in Java, Bali, and Lombok. Unfortunately, Sumatra know this species. But you have silver lutons, Trachyptex cristatus. It's a sibling species of this primates. Okay, today I would like to talk about the seed dispersal by this monkey. So, do you know the term seed dispersal? So, seed dispersal is one suits of the plant-animal interaction. I show the schematic image of the seed dispersal. So, from what to right.
Yeah,
Not moving.
yeah.
Uh,
Try to
I
exit and yeah, close and then
so image. So a bird came to the side the way a bird okay. After the birds left, the inside the feces there's a the then grow, and finally they have fruits. And in future, a bird come again. So that is a cycle of the seed dispersal. So seed dispersal is a kind of a process between animal and plants. So they're both interaction of the animal and the plants. So here, the Colobine monkeys. So this is a new 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 word. Colobine monkeys. Please understand this. Colobine monkey is a kind of the Asian and African primates. They mainly eat on leaves. Yeah, it's a English name is a leaf monkeys. So I show there are photos of the Colobines. From left to right is Hanuman langurs in India, and the Duke langurs in Vietnam, and white and black colobus in Africa, and golden snub-nosed monkeys in China. So it's like this. The Colobine inhabit Asian and African countries. So this is a very unique topics. Is a Colobine have the specialized stomach containing protozoa, and they can digest cellulose included in the lips. So this bottom left is the image of the stomach of the Colobines. So you can see this is a very unique shape. It's like a big tank. So inside the tank, there are many protozoa inside. So the protozoa can digest the cellulose in the leaves. So the Colobines can digest fibrous leaves. That is very unique. So researchers have considered that a Colobine monkey is specialized to eat leaves. But so this figure represents the dietary composition of the Colobine and macaques. Macaque is another type of the typical primates in Asian countries. So this is a pie chart showing the dietary composition. First, please see right figure. This is the composition of the macaque. Of the diet is composed of the fruits, which are shown by black. And about 1/4 of the diet is composed of fruit. It's interesting to understand. Please see of the Colobines. So their diet is, half of diet is composed of leaves. But please see, you can see the black area. About 1/3 of the diet is not, but also eating fruits. So that is a very new finding in these 2 decades, 20 research. So we are now understand is not believe it roots. So, this figure shows a relative biomass of the coral vine in tropical forest in some in so black area represent relative percentage each coral vine have showing some much amount of the biomass in the forest. So we can this implies that the ecological role of the coral vines would be much greater than other primates having lower biomass. For example, great apes like us, orangutan and gibbons. The coral vines also have a much amount of biomass, so ecological role would be much greater. So that is my idea. So please remember the seed dispersal. From viewpoint of seed dispersal, coral vines should high degree of frugivory, but their role as seed dispersal agent hasn't been neglected. So coral vines eating fruits, but how they play a role as a seed dispersal agent have not been studied yet. Recently, several studies have shown formerly treated as seed destroyer to be internal seed dispersers. For example, here you can see 3 animals. It's a mice. I think you know mice is seed eater, but some species of the mice can disperse seed in the forest. And the middle is a squirrel, kibajin in Indonesia. Kibajin also known as a seed eater, but some species can disperse seed in the forest. And the right photo is a parrot. It's kind of birds. They also play a role as seed dispersal agent. So my idea is how maybe coral vine would play a role as a seed disperser. So in order to evaluate the contribution of frugivores to survival and initial stage of plant growth, studying the role of the coral vines having large biomass as seed dispersal agent is essential. So I started the project in 2015, about 10 years before. So this is objective. Aim of this study is to clarify whether coral vines play a role as seed dispersal agent. So this is a subject, Javan luton, Trachypitex auratus. So specifically, I have 2 approaches, but the quantitative and qualitative variables. So as the quantitative variables, I studied the number of seeds within single species. And as the qualitative variables, I evaluated seed appearance ratio from species and dispersal distance and germination ratio. So we compared our findings with those of sympatric monkeys, long-tailed macaques. In Sumatra, I don't know, Kera, monyet. So this is known as a very highly frugivorous fruit eater. So they have already known that macaques play a role as a seed dispersal agent. So this is the study site. Now you are in Sumatra, but my study site is Java. Name is Pagandaran Nature Reserve, West Java. So in this study site, primate research has been started since 1970s. It's a mainly collaboration with Indonesian and Japanese researchers. And this study site is composed of secondary or plantation forest. The view of the forest is like this. It's a very nice nice place and around the beach. And you can see the very big ficus Kiara trees in the forest. So Jakarta is here, the capital city in Indonesia. So from Jakarta to Bogor, it takes about 1 hour by bus. From Bogor to Pagandaran, it takes about 1 day by car. So Pagandaran is firstly established as a national nature reserve because this area have a very endemic Rafflesia plants. Then since 1970s, a study on primates ecology has been conducted. And the study area is composed of secondary and planted forest and partly grassland. This is the town around the study sites. That's a very fisherman's town, like similar to the Padang in West Sumatra. And this is the forest. It's easy to walk and very flat. The monthly change in rainfall during the study is like this. So I think the climate is similar to your town. In West Java, there is a very clear seasonality in dry season and wet season. Yeah. In wet season, so every day rainy, heavy rain, but the dry season, few rains. So Pagandaran is like a peninsula. So in the neck of the peninsula, a human settlement exists. And in southern part of the peninsula, there is a forest. Yeah, forest is classified into 2 areas. One is a forest park. Here, tourists can access freely. And the southern part is a nature reserve. Here is a very strictly conserved and protected by rangers. My mainly study at the forest park. In forest park, there are 6 different groups of the rutons. So among 6, I studied, my study's target is 3 groups, J, K, and P groups, respectively. So what kind of study I did, I explain. So method is very easy. From morning until evening, I follow the monkeys and observe them continuously. So from August 2011 until March 2016, we observed the monkeys. So this is the result of the diet composition of the rutons during my study. And the x-axis represents the months, and y-axis represents relative percentage of the diet. You can see white area occupied much. White area represent leaves. So ruton, because ruton is a leaf eaters, so they the main diet is leaves. This is a similar same research with previous ones, but you can see you can also find the black area. Black represent fruits. So ruton feed on fruits every month, and the degree of frugivory became strong in dry season. So in dry season, leaves disappear, so rutons depend on fruits more. So that is interesting. So they can drastically shift their behavior in response to the food environment. Among many fruit species, Luton prefer the Chiara and ficus. So I show the photos of the feeding. Lutons likes eating ficus fruits. So Ficus microcarpa and Ficus annulata and Ficus variegata and bottom right is a different Discapermum fructicosum. Yeah, but Ficus is much they like more. And every day, almost every day, they eat ficus. So in one day, they spent about 3 or 4 hours for eating. And sometimes they eat very big fruits of the Pterospermum japonicum. And also Discosyrum calstachym. This fruit is bearing from the stem of the trees. So you can understand they eat fruits, but you don't know whether the seed of the fruits appeared in the feces. So I collected the fecal samples of the Lutons. Then we washed the feces under the fresh water. Then we found the seed from the fecal samples. So in 1 year, in 1 year, I collected 240 samples in total and picked up the seeds. Then we evaluated the seed appearance ratio and number of seeds within single fecal sample and number of plant species within single fecal sample. So this is the result. There are photos of the seed of different plant species. So from the Luton feces, we found in total 6 different plant seed of different plants. So this is a red one and purple one. Yeah, and the majority of the seed found from the feces of Luton was ficus. And the blue one represent the seed found from the feces of the long-tailed macaque. So diversity of the seed species was for the macaque is much greater than the Luton. So number of the species was more than 19 different plant species for the macaque and at least 6 different plant species for the Lutons. So let's compare the result between Luton and macaque. First, a number of species. So from viewpoint of the species, macaque is much greater, more than 3 times greater than Luton. And how about seed appearance ratio? Seed appearance ratio is number of the fecal samples containing seeds among all fecal samples. So percentage is 54% versus 62% respectively. So statistically no difference. So percentage of the containing the seed is similar between Luton and macaque. And species diversity per fecal sample was same. sorry. It's greater for the long-tailed macaque. And the number of seeds per single feces is much greater for return. So this result implies that the return defecates small number of species, but large number of seeds than that of macaques at once. So next question is how long the return can disperse the seed in the forest. In order to address this question, we combined data on feeding experiments and behavior observation. We then modeled the dispersal distance. Feeding experiment was conducted at Zoological Garden in Jakarta. We visited the zoo and discussed with the staff, and they allowed us to conduct the experiment. That is very interesting. So captive return is like banana so much. So we decided to put the seed into the banana chunk, then we gave. Then we collected the feces from the floor of the cage every 2 hours and pick up the seeds. From the result of the experiment, we created the distribution of seed passage times. How many hours is necessary from eating until defecation? So this student is an IPB student, Miss Jenny, who conducted the experiments. That is the result. So half of the ingested ficus seed were defecated within 48 hours. That means 2 days. And almost all ingested seeds were defecated within 96 hours. So in other words, 4 days. So this means the day necessary to ingest is about 2 or 4 days. So during this time, from the mother tree to the forest, that is the distance, is the dispersal distance. So during my field work, we have collected location of the returns every day. So idea is like this. So combination of the behavior observation and feeding experiments, we can estimate the seed dispersal distance. So this is a very complicated, so I skipped this figure. So from the previous study, I modeled the how a percentage of the some seed dispersal. So that is the result. This figure represents relationship between distance and percentage. So we call this seed shadow. So percentage distribution of the seed dispersal distance. So our result found that the return can disperse seeds in maximum about 300 meters from the mother tree. But the majority of seed is dispersed within 200 meters, not so much. This figure shows the seed dispersal distance of the Asian animal species in tropical region. So elephant, gajah is greatest disperser in the earth. So their dispersal distance is up to 100 kilometers from the mother tree. Yeah. And gibbon, civet, and macaque, and hornbills. So many fruits eaters can disperse long distance. Compared to these big animals, the returns dispersal distance is much shorter. Maximum is about 300 meters. That is mainly due to small home range of the returns. So next, I wanted to know how many percent of the seed defecated by Luton can germinate? So using the ficus seed, I conducted the field experiment. I put the seed into the planter and every day I watered. Then I checked the time until germinate. So that is the result. Black line represent the control and red line represent Luton and the blue line represent macaques. So this figure represents relationship between time and the percentage of the seedlings germinated. So germination ratio of the seed ingested by primates is not so higher. But compared to control, the percentage is much lower. But please see, red line and blue line is very similar pattern. So this means some successful ratio of the Luton is similar to that in Monet. Okay, I summarize. And please remember this message. The colobines, Luton, can play role as a seed dispersal agent. That is a new finding of us. Diversity of species whose seed Luton disperse was lower than macaque. The diversity is not so much. But number of seeds dispersed at one time was much greater than Monet. And Luton's dispersal distance is not so longer, several hundred meters in maximum. But the germination ratio of the seed ingested inside the Luton feces was same as one with macaque feces. The relative successful ratio is similar. And the qualitative and quantitative characteristic of seeds dispersed by the Luton are not stand out conspicuously. However, due to their large biomass, please remember, Luton have a much amount of biomass compared to other primates. So Lutons would play role as the endozoochous seed dispersers in the forest in tropical region. So in next step, what I want to do in Indonesia is this. So this study evaluated the seed dispersal contribution only by Luton. But please remember, there are many different types of the fruits eaters in the forest. So what we should know is how Luton contribute to the forest relative to other species. So which one is more important? So in order to answer this question, I would like to continue study in Indonesia. Okay, my talk is like this. And today's talk is already published in some scientific journal. So if you want to read this, so please inform me. And thank you very much for your listening. I'm sorry, my English skill is not so good, and my talk would be difficult to listen. But anyhow, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Yamato. It is easy to understand. Your English is good, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I catch the idea. Maybe I will little translate to my student what the conclusion of your research. Jadi penelitian ini membahas tentang apakah bagaimana kemampuan lutung untuk menyebarkan biji ya. Jadi dia dilihat apakah lutung ini bisa menyebarkan biji-biji tumbuhan, dan ini dibandingkan dengan makaka atau monyet ekor panjang gitu. Dan ternyata dari penelitian ini diketahui bahwa lutung dia menyebarkan tanaman itu spesiesnya sangat sedikit tapi jumlahnya lebih banyak dibandingkan makaka, dan juga dia diketahui tadi memiliki fase untuk pertumbuhan atau germinasinya itu lebih rendah ya, tapi sama dengan makaka. Okay. It is okay to continue or we join to the discussion, Mr. Yamato?
Sure, okay, please. If you have any questions, so please chat and or question by talk. It's okay.
Okay. Maybe if there are any questions, you can ask directly. Okay, there's some people, and if you say to us, you can type on the chat box. Okay, for the first question, there is Miss Tanti, Mrs. Tanti. Please, Miss Tanti.
Thank you, Miss Hesti. Good morning, Yamato. Very
Hi.
nice explanations
Thank
about primates ecology in Indonesia. I have two questions. By the way, my background education is physics. This is very new topic for me, but this is very interesting topic too. So I want to ask you a very basic questions. I want you, could you explain what is the implications of this research, of your research, especially in order with the biological diversity in Indonesia and for the conservation, of course. And number two, I wonder why did you choose West Java as the locations of your research? Why you not choose another area in Indonesia? You know that Indonesia consists very kinds of forests, but you choose West Java. Why? Could you explain to me? Thank you, Yamato.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Okay, I first answer to first question. So how this study contribute to the Conservation Act in Indonesia? Yeah. So this study found would how endemic primates contribute to the forest ecosystem or forest regeneration. So at present, some conservation is not only focusing on specific species, but forest ecosystem or world system. Yeah? So from this viewpoint, relative contribution of each animals with some forest composition, that is important. So for when we explain or negotiate with the government, we can emphasize how primates contribute to the forest existence. So that is very good power for the negotiation. So that is a reason why I studying some seed dispersal. Yeah. Okay, and the next question, the reason why I selected Pagandaran for my study site. Yeah, that is very easy reason. My boss in Kyoto University studied in Indonesia, and they have a good friend in the IPB, Bogor Agriculture University.
Yes.
So, yeah, that team has a study at Pagandaran. So that is the reason. But yeah, but since 2015, I also started visiting the Padang because my friend is in Andhras University. So I supervise the student of the Andhras University, and they study at Gunung Padang, like Ilham also, and some study site in the Sumatra. So once at present, I supervise one student who study at the Sito Dispersal in the West Sumatra. So, so not only Java, but also Sumatra. I have interest. So in future, if Jambi University student want to study Sito Dispersal, of course, let's collaborate. Yeah.
Wow,
Thank you
it's
very
very
much.
great chance from Yamato. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, Yamato.
Okay, thank you, Miss Tanti. Okay, please, if you have any question, you can ask in the. Okay, there is one question in the chat box, but it's in Indonesia. Okay, I will try to translate. Okay. Okay, from Mr. Sultan, his question is, how is the difference germination of seed from primates? Oh yeah. Actually, this question is already you give the explanation in the conclusion, but maybe I will ask again. The Mr. Sultan asked the differentiation of germination of seed from primates, and they just grow directly from the plant. What is the differentiation?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Yeah, advantage of the dispersed by animals is, okay, so in case the fruits directly drop beneath the tree, so mother tree have a big crown, so beneath the tree is very dark, and it's difficult to germinate. And even the seed germinate, they would be affected by disease of the sibling, some brother seedlings. But if animals disperse the seed, so they went to the open area. It's a very sunlight, and some covered by some trees. So it's a percentage of germination would be become higher. So from this viewpoint, the dispersal by animals would be advantageous. Yeah. So it's okay. It's good for you to your question.
Yeah, yes, okay.
Okay.
Jadi di sini,
thank you very much.
ya, jadi di sini siapa Pak Sultan ya. Jadi dijelaskan bahwa kalau misalnya tanaman yang biji yang jatuh langsung dari bawah pohon itu biasanya dia akan survive di sekitar pohon aja. Tapi kalau misalnya ada lutung itu dia akan membantu penyebarannya lebih jauh seperti itu gitu. Jadi itu salah satu perbedaannya. Tapi tadi kalau untuk kemampuan pertumbuhannya itu sudah dijelaskan di slide bahwa kalau kemampuan pertumbuhannya itu jauh lebih rendah dibandingkan kontrol ya. Tapi dengan adanya persebaran itu sangat membantu sekali untuk pertumbuhan tanaman seperti itu. Okay, is there any question? There is an interesting offer from Mr. Yamato Suji to make a research about primate in Indonesia. You can be one of his students or supervisor. And okay, please, there is any question? If there is any question, no more question, maybe we can move to the next presenter. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Professor Yamato Suji. Do you have any time to stay here, or you have anything to do?
Okay, I stay here, so I will continue to listen. So no problem.
Thank you. It's happy to hear that. Okay, let's move to next presentation or our next lecture. There is Mr. Ilham Kurnia. I will read his short CV. Mr. Kurnia Ilham is a doctoral candidate at Kohseung Medical University in Taiwan, correct me if I'm wrong, with a decade of experience dedicated to the study of primates. His research focus spans feeding ecology, conservation efforts, and the complex dynamics of human-primates conflict. Currently, Mr. Ilham is actively involved in managing the long-tail macaque project in Indonesia. This project likely involved a comprehensive investigation to behavior, ecology, and conservation status of long-tailed macaque, shedding light on their interaction with the surrounding environment and potential conflict with human population. This commitment to primate research underscores his dedication to understanding and preserving this crucial component of biodiversity. Yeah, that is about Pak Ilham. I have read many articles that you have published, and all of them amazing, I think. Okay, Pak Ilham, maybe you want to present in Bahasa or in English?
I try both because I
Okay.
just want, but first let's try in English because I wish they can get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I need to share screen, right?
Okay.
So can you see this one?
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet?
Yes.
Is
It's
it ready?
Yeah.
Is it moving, right?
Yeah. This moving.
Okay, thank you so much. Can we just waiting for Azan for a moment in front of my house?
Okay. Okay. It's no problem.
All right. Yeah.
Baiklah, okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Suji Sensei, for the first speaker that explained about the dispersal of the lutung in Java. And I thanks for the UIN, Sultan Taha, for inviting me for this talk. But actually, I'm now try to explain, not explain, right? I'm just trying to describe what we're doing right now in Sumatra. And especially we're talking about topic related with the human-monkey conflict over crop feeding in West Sumatra. So as in my, because our rector or president of university has mentioned that Indonesia experience with deforestations, large scale or small scale, then we know that deforestation degraded or reducing the landscape or habitat for the primates or other wildlife. Now, not only by dismissing their home, but also, I mean, like reducing their habitat quality, including food resources and habitat quantity, how much the forest left for them, that those situations is now increasing the interaction between humans and primates, especially because now we are talking about the primates. Actually, we have a lot of problem with other species or wildlife species like a tiger, like a bear, or cheetah or something else. But now we're talking about the primates. So actually, when human and wildlife or human and primates are living at close proximity to each other, not always ending with a conflict situation. Some area, you know, you can see in Ubud, they still have a good cooperations, a good connections between each other, because in Bali is depend on our social, culture, and religion aspect. Now, but unfortunately, in this recent days, when we have like a primates living close proximity to human, especially when they are living in a farm area, we have always a conflict. That people say that a monkey go into our farms, they are taking any crops that we planted, that reducing income for the farmer. Now we try to look at these situations and to learn how far that we can understand about the crop feeding animals and how the farmer can be vulnerable to the crop feedings or crop damage by the monkey. Now, as so yeah, as I mentioned it before, you know, crop feeding is a result of the deforestation that animals or primates they need to respond to get more food by engage their feeding activity in the farm area. And the other things is that crops available in the farms can be alternative resources as a consequences for their habitat loss. And the other thing is, why do primates or animals or monkey they are feed on crop? Because the crops can provide many advantage. We know that crops in the field can be much abundance. They are predictable, easy to get it, and they are rich, nutritious, and they also like have a good taste, like human eating corn or human eating cassava is good for us, right? Then the same the way the monkey that feel that crops or human food is more delicious than the forest one. So for the farmers, when they are have a problem with or have issue with the crop feeding long-tail macaque or crop feeding primates, yeah, we know that mostly people in Indonesia still depending their life in the farming activity. So it means that the animals going to the farm or damaging their farm can reduce their income. And also people says that we fear to the primates once the monkey going to their farm, they are feeling fear and can be threatened their safety. And also they need to spend more time and energy to invest in protections to manage their crop not damaged by the monkey. Now, at least if we look at by Estrada et al. Publishing like 2012 that predicting that a lot of primate population in the world right now, including Indonesia, is going to decline. And some of those, like more than 72% of the primate species, they are getting declined population because habitat loss, and around, I mean, like less than 27% is because the conflict with human over crop feeding. Now, me and Suji Sensei, we try to look information from database, which the extent to which or how much conflict situation in Indonesia right now. We compare information from the paper, then we got that we have like 26 species of primates in Indonesia involved in conflict with humans. And for the species that really problematic by the farmers or more complaints from the farmers is the long-tail macaque. And this is animal is dispersed along of the wet sites of Indonesia from Sumatra, Java, Borneo. Then they have a problem with crop feeding or farmers complain against them because they are crop damage. Now, therefore, we need to reducing how that we can help farmer to reduce the crop damage causing by the monkey. So a number of study has emphasized us to look at better information for instances, because if we have a lot of farmers in the farms, a lot of farms in the forest, then each farm cannot be, vulnerability of their crop damage is not equivalent, it's not similar, because it's depend on some situations. And our researchers have been suggest us to look at ecological characteristic, for instances like a farm size, how big of farms in that area, where they are located, near to the forest or far from the forest, and what crop they are growing in that area in their farms, and how much adjacent farm or neighboring farms they have surrounding their farms, and then number of monkey involved in crop feeding. And absolutely the last one that people argue or researcher emphasize suggest us to look at the frequency of crop feedings by the long-tail macaque. Based on this information, then we can therefore estimated which type or which farms that more vulnerable to the crop damage causing by the monkey or by the primates, then how action we need to doing for reduce the crop damage. Beside this ecological characteristic, we have also another sessions that potentially affecting the crop damage or vulnerability of the farm due to crop feedings by the monkey. For instances, as we know that people have tried or farmers have tried a number of protection methods they're using in the farm to prevent the monkey going to the farm. But yeah, as you know, maybe when you talk with the farmer, they will say that this is protections is not effective for us. Then for many reasons, and either for the money reason, for time reasons, or for the humans energy or humans presence in the farm, this could be affecting their protection effectiveness. Now, from this side, from these reasons, we try to look at informations, the farm vulnerability to crop damage causing by the long-tail macaque. Why we doing long-tail macaque for this research? Because we know that this monkey is like to live in close proximity to humans, to live near to humans, and this monkey is opportunistic primates. They can eat everything available in their habitats, not including the forest fruits. They can also going to human housing, taking your rice, taking your food in the house. And then the second one, the third one is because the long-tail macaque is the most blamed species over to causing crop damage by the farmer. And the last one, because we know that in recent years, the long-tailed macaque has been changed from vulnerability to be endangered. So we need to fix this issue. We need to help this situation to gain more conservation awareness toward the species. And as to this, we try to doing this research to assessment which farm more vulnerable to crop damage by the long-tailed macaque, because based in this information, we can then suggest the farmer what you need to doing to prevent this situation. So we try to study in two sites. One is protected sites, one is the unprotected sites, because we assume that the farm characteristic and the number of animals living in these two sites will be different. Let's say that in protected area, maybe a lot of monkey living there, then damage caused by those monkeys can be different to those that farmer living in unprotected forest site. Now, so when we calculating about which farm that more vulnerable or susceptible to crop damage causing by the monkey, we first assessing which crop species that actually damaged by the monkey. Actually, we interview about 200 people in Padang, and we asking them which crop you are planted in your farm and which crop they are taken by the monkey. So we know this is kind of a species that more vulnerable to crop damage by the primates or by the long-tailed macaque. We have a durian, we have a banana, bitter bean, papaya, and etc. This is kind of species that reporting by the farmer that this monkey eat this crop most often than others. So after this, then we will try to look at the trends or the correlations between the risk incident of a crops to the, wait a minute, why I cannot see this one. Yeah, to the number of crops growing. Wait a minute, how I can closing this one. All right, so let's move on. So we try to make a correlations. There is any correlation between the high incidence of the crop plantings or crop damagings by the farmers, by the monkey, and the number of crop planted. So we can see from here that the more, the high incident risk of crop is correlated with the people saying that they're planting this crop. For instance, as the banana, more than 150, 194 of farmers says that we planted this kind of fruits, then it's the margins by the around 173 of the farmers saying this fruit is the margins by the monkey. So we have a trending correlation between the number of crops planted by the farmer of each species then incident risk, which means that these 5 species can be seen as the most available crops in the farms. Now for the next, so then, as I mentioned it before, because I want to see which ecological factor that affecting the farm become more susceptible to the crop damage causing by the monkey. Actually, we have a simple mathematics for categorize. This is high level, low level, or a relative high level of crop damage causing the monkey. So from our calculation, we know that more than 40%, 43% of the farmer they say belongs to relative high vulnerables, and more than 50% or about 47% of the farmers they are become highly vulnerable for the monkey, damaging by the long-tailed macaque. Now, which factor actually affecting these situations now? Because we have a number of predicts. Sorry, sir. So we have a number of ecological predictors like a farm size. This is farm size. I'm sorry, this is close by something. And this is from location. We see that trends of the correlations. The more farms is close to the forest edge, right? The far they are going, the bigger the farms having by the farmer, the more they are vulnerable against the crop feeding by the monkey, by the long-tailed macaque. Similarly, I mean, like the smaller size of crops having by the farmer, then the risk become to be damaging by the long-tailed macaque is going to down. But instead of the more higher farms having by the farmer, the more they are get damaged by the long-tailed macaque or by the monkey. So, and the next, why again? So how about another factor that make the farm become more vulnerable to the crop damage by the monkey is the number of crops planting by the farmer. If the farms is planting more diverse of crops in their lands, they are more having, I mean, like they are more susceptible to crop damage by the long-tailed macaque, because we know the long-tailed macaque is opportunistic. They are gregarious, and any crops that are available in the farm area, they take advantage, or they mean like they take everything in the farm area. So the another point that we need to mention it here is that another factor that make farm become more vulnerable is the number of monkey. The more monkey in the forest, and they are located near to the forest, they have a big size of the land area, and the planting a number of crops, a diverse of crops, means they are potentially or susceptible to crop damage causing by the monkey. Then we look at because we expected when the farmer realized they are more susceptible to crop damage by the long-tailed macaque, then we supposed to think that the farmer might increasing their effort to reduce the crop damage by the monkey. I mean, as the increasing risk, then the increasing effort to reduce the crop damage, right? This is the hypothetically. But unfortunately, I mean, like, yeah, we found that the farmer actually using different kind of method. They're chasing the monkey, they're guarding their fields, they're covering fruits and etc. and try to prevent or reduce the crop damage by the long-tailed macaque. But as we expected that the more farmer having susceptibles to crop damage by the monkey, they will more put effort in the protection in their farm. And we found a tendency, really, I mean, like correlations. If the farmer put more effort to their land area to prevent the crop feedings by the monkey, then the risk of their farms getting damaged by the monkey is increasing. But the question is, why people do not want to put the same effort? Why this farmer, the farmer A just put 5 effort? Why the farmer C is put more than 10 effort? Now, this is differences maybe actually based on their assumption, based on their perceive about the effectiveness of protection method. Suppose that even the farmer using one single methodology, but it successfully did not to expand or more methodology. But so how then we, I mean, like how then the factor affecting the efficiency or effectiveness crop protection method used by the farmer? So again, we using the same data sets, the ecological predictor. The first one is a farm size, from locations, diversity of crops planting by the farmer, and the number of crops, number of monkey going to their farm. And then the frequency of monkey, either the daily or monthly or seasonally. Then we see this effect to the protection effectiveness of the protection method used by the farmer. Unfortunately, when we assess that the protection effectiveness taught by the farmer, received by the farmer, and more than 80% or like more than 62% of the farmer perceive their protection effort is not effective to reduce or to prevent the monkey going to the farm, while 38% of the farmer, they says, yeah, we can, yeah, by this action we can reduce the crop feeding or the frequency of monkey going to our farm. But it's not mean the 100s are successfully reducing the crop damage. So what factor is affecting this situation? I mean, like especially for the effectiveness. So as I mentioned it before, we using 5 the ecological characteristic, for instance, as the crop from location. So we see the significant trends, the effectiveness of the protection method used by the farmer. What we can see from this figure is the more from location is far from the forest, then the effectiveness is working. I mean, like the method can be working partly, but the more farms area is getting close to the forest area, so there are methodology using to prevent the monkey come to their farm area is limited, is ineffective. Why? Yeah, because the monkey can going to the farm area, they can be silent, they can be undetected. There are just people, farmers say this only one monkey, but actually after some time 100 monkeys in coming. So means that people living that have a farmer near to the forest, they are not aware, they don't realize that actually they have any protection method they're using is not working. So what is second reasons, second predictor that affecting the vulnerability, I mean like effectiveness, is a farm size. So if you have a more bigger size of the farms, your protection method is not working effectively. Yeah. Actually, there's this farm size is including by which manner we actively protect our crop. But you might assume that, or maybe we know that when people go into the farm, only 1 or 2 people in presence and at their farm. So if you have a 1 hectare area of the farm, how possible with 2 persons you can correctly, effectively to protect their crops? Your crops is impossible. So we clear see the trends that the more bigger the farm size, the more ineffective of their protection used by the farmer. But again, so we need to carefully inform these informations, because it's depend on the manner how the farmer put attention, or how the farmer put effort on their effectiveness or their way to protect their crops, because 1 or 2 people is not enough. And then another reason is the number of monkey. Yeah, as I mentioned that before. Yeah, when people thought that the monkey in the forest is only 50, but actually there's hundreds, and they cannot recognizing, I mean, the frequency and the number of monkey going to the farm. People say it's just only 1, but actually the monkey is coming can be more than 1 or more than 50. So the number of monkey in the forest area can substantially affecting to the effectiveness of protection method by the farmer. And then we tried to using the random forest analysis to predict which variable that actually affecting that farm vulnerability or susceptibility to the crop damage and the protection effectiveness. So after we have some correlation, positive correlation trends that we assess with the random forest analysis, we know that farm size from locations of number of monkey is the most predictor, is the most variable that importantly affecting the farm vulnerability to the crop feeding by the monkey. While if we look at for the protection effectiveness, that from location and size is the 2 reasons, that is 2 variable are matters for the farmer to improve the effectiveness of the protection method used in their farms. And then what we can suggest for the farmer based on this result, first we need to engage the farmer. We need to suggest the farmer to change the cropping pattern, because they know the banana, papaya, durian is the most crops affecting by the monkey or damaging by the monkey. But while like a sweet potato, watermelons, water guava, and all the tuber a type of crop is not damaging by the monkey, then we can suggest the farmer to switch or their cropping pattern. Maybe they need to put more tuber species to reduce the damage causing the monkey. And then we also can suggest the farmer to planting crops were liked by the monkey but not important for the farmer. All right, so yeah, again, it's depend on many situations, but we not assessment like where's the area of durian planting by the farmer. If the area is close to the forest, their planting is, of course, the durian is damaging, more vulnerable to crop damage because they are very close to the forest area. But if the vulnerability of the species information. And then what we long tail macaque, because the farmer says, the farm is not only one or two, only something, but actually the monkey is going to the farm is more often than they thought. And then they never put attention, they never put more effort to protect their crop. Instead of they're just blaming the monkey come to us then. Yeah, this is critical situations right now. And then what increasing the efficiency. What we can do for as students for doing research in this aspect, yeah, we can set up the future research. For instances, we need predicting seasonal or temporal pattern of crop feedings by the long-tail macaque. In this way, we need to know when mornings, evening, or afternoons, and how many individual crop they are damaging, because damaged by the monkey in your farm, and they say, oh, a lot. But we never know that real information is, yeah, is it real or not? Portion of monkey damaging, they turn into a conflict. Then say, oh, it's a big, and they are come to kill the monkey. Yeah, then we need to know about this perceived loss and actual loss. And then we need to assessing factor why monkey feed on particular crops. Most often the kind of crops damaging by the monkey, we know not all crops is right. We have a order is less vulnerable. Why this is happening? Because the farmer planting this kind of species is far from the forest edge, or maybe this crop is not much available in their farm, or maybe perhaps, and this crop is more nutritious for the monkey. So that's why we need to eat more durian, because durian is tasty. Durian is more nutritious. In this factor, then and what they want for reducing the situations. So either they want to compensation, either they want to help for the protections, helping them to improve protection effectiveness, or maybe they need to helping in many ways that we need to hear. And last, I want to introduce you that is our website. Website, and we have an Instagram. For the student, please follow this our working site. And in this long-tail macaque project, we focus mainly on the long-tail macaque, but we also opened for people or students primates. And of course, yeah, actually, if you are working towards our aim and scope, we can funding some amount of money if you're interested working with the long-tail macaque in your area. That's actually important for us, and we can make collaboration in the future. And now in the future, maybe tomorrow you want to working with us, or you want to interesting working with the primates, and then you don't have a funding, you can contacting us. And if we feel that your proposal is good enough, then we can funding. We can help you with some amount of money for support your research. And don't forget to follow us, of course. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pak Ilham. It is very interesting, and it is very interesting. And I have I one of victim of that monkey because I plant the cucumber in front of my house in small farm, but they eat my cucumber, and they don't eat actually, they just bite it and then throw it. Yeah,
yes,
it is amazing. True. And that's that there are actually, if the afternoon of in the where the time they go to hunting
Yeah.
very many macaques. Okay, anybody, if you have any question with this interesting question, you can ask. Oh yeah, there is Miss Tanti again. Okay, Miss Tanti.
Yeah.
Mikrofonnya, Bu.
Thank you, Miss Hesti. And thanks God because you are Indonesian, Mas Ilham, so I can ask you in bahasa Indonesia.
Ya,
Oke,
ya,
Mas
boleh.
Ilham, ini menarik banget ya kalau kita kaitkan tadi dengan penelitiannya Pak Yamato mengenai monyet sebagai salah satu agent untuk penebar benih, artinya juga berperan pada biodiversity. Kemudian penelitian Mas Ilham kemudian melihat bagaimana ya Bapak terutama ekor. Ada beberapa informasi penting. Satu, saya baru tahu monyet suka jengkol ya Mas, nggak cuma saya.
Ya.
Itu penting untuk di-highlight. Nah ini pertanyaannya adalah, ini gimana Mas, antara dua riset itu, dua penelitian itu, yang satu mengatakan bahwa monyet itu berperan sebagai penebar benih yang juga akhirnya juga akan menjaga ekosistem, keberlanjutan ekosistem.
Ya.
Di sisi lain ada petani yang kemudian juga dirugikan. Nah ini jalan tengahnya gimana? Di satu sisi kita butuh tuh si monyet ekor panjang untuk menjaga ekosistem kita, di sisi lain kemudian petani dirugikannya, harusnya gimana kitanya Mas? Apakah kemudian, apalagi sekarang kan kita sudah sama-sama tahu makin banyak perumahan, makin sedikit area untuk si monyet-monyet ini mencari makanan gitu. Artinya kan terancam kepunahan
Iya,
mereka
benar.
itu semakin tinggi gitu. Nah ini gimana Mas Ilham mengamatinya? Terus saya juga
Iya,
dapat
benar.
insight kalau begitu ya tadi lihat yang kita suka ya, ada pepaya, ada pisang. Pisang mah
Ya.
nggak heran makanannya ya Mas ya. Kalau gitu saya di rumah besok tanam kangkung aja semua Mas, nggak usah ada rambutan,
Iya.
nggak usah
Iya, iya,
biar nggak digangguin oleh monyet ekor panjang. Karena di rumah saya juga gitu.
iya.
Kami di UIN dulu itu
Iya.
banyak sekali hutan. Sekarang udah pembangunan, hutannya udah mulai
Iya,
sedikit
benar.
ya, bukan tidak ada tapi sedikit. Kemudian monyet-monyet ini larinya ke perumahan-perumahan penduduk, termasuk di daerah saya yang memang dekat dengan kampus gitu.
Iya.
Jadi memang jangankan makanan, pisang aja ditaruh di luar, jangankan tanaman ya, makanan taruh di luar aja dia berani ngambil gitu.
Iya.
Apalagi tanaman yang berbuah. Nah, ini gimana mengamatinya Mas, antara tadi itu utamanya lah dua penelitian tadi ya
Iya,
Mas.
iya.
Oke, makasih Mas Ilham.
Ya, terima kasih Bu Tanti. Ya, itu tadi bahwa kita itu adalah prestasi. Kemudian kan mereka tidak, kalau aku secara pribadi ketika dan aku tahu, oh memang nggak ada makanan untuk mereka. Kalau dia cuma makan fikus yang kecil-kecil dan kemudian diintroduksi dengan sebuah pohon rambutan, tentu monyet akan lebih memilih rambutan ya kan, karena ya itu lebih bernutrisi, lebih punya rasa dan mendapatkannya juga juga lebih mudah lah bagi mereka ya kan. Nah kemudian kita melihat bahwa ini adalah resiko yang luar biasa, meskipun ada penelitian mengatakan bahwa sebenarnya monyet yang crop feeding tadi membantu menyebarkan biji-biji yang ditanam tadi hutan. At some point itu bagus, tapi kemudian ketika tumbuhan hutan dan tumbuhan agriculture dicampur adukan ke dalam sebuah ekosistem, maka ada konsekuensi yang luar biasa lagi. Ya kan? Nah, kita belum tahu konsekuensi apa yang kemudian ketika tumbuhan hutan yang monyet masuk ke farm, ke dalam ladang, lalu dibawanya ke hutan, lalu defikasi di hutan, tumbuhlah biji benih-benih tadi. Nah, kita nggak tahu konsekuensi semacam apa. Tapi beberapa penelitian menggunakan dia aversi namanya, cara untuk menghindari monyet masuk ke dalam ladang itu menanam batang anau. Itu batang anau itu untuk membuat gula merah.
Oh, anau.
Nah, batang anau ya. Nah, itu tuh tumbuhan asli hutan dan kemudian juga bermanfaat bagi monyet dan bermanfaat bagi manusia. Nah, itu nggak masalah. Itu bagus sebenarnya, dan itu sudah dicobakan di Sulawesi oleh Erin sebenarnya, melihat bagaimana anau bisa kemudian berdampak pada pengurangan dari dari crop feeding tadi. Nah, kembali ke pertanyaan tadi, bagaimana sebenarnya ya ada konsekuensi ya kita pusing aja monyet ini, ya kan? Kita hilangin aja, nggak ada potensi yang luar biasa namanya disease transmisi. Malaria, DBD itu bersumber juga dari mereka. Ketika mereka berstatus sebagai apa namanya ya, sebagai palang pintu lah. Jadi nyamuk-nyamuk itu hanya akan menginfeksi monyet-monyet itu aja. Mereka nggak masuk ke manusia. Tapi ketika monyet itu tidak ada dan nyamuk yang pembawa Anopheles tadi yang membawa penyakit masuk ke lingkungan itu kan menyebabkan disease namanya disease outbreak. Itu yang kita perkirakan. Tanaman ini case by case ya Bu ya. Ada di beberapa wilayah, kemudian semakin banyak ditanam, dapat semakin mereduksi crop feeding, crop damage. Contohnya pada gajah. Gajah yang ditemukan di penelitian di India dan di Afrika, the more you planting the crops, the more you reduce the crop damage. Oke, jadi itu ada, itu setiap spesies dan lokasi itu berbeda-beda. Kalau di Padang kita temukan semakin banyak ditanam, semakin dia rentan terhadap kerusakan. Tapi di beberapa daerah kayak di penelitian yang di Hill di Afrika Selatan oleh babun, semakin tinggi itu semakin rendah. Karena monyet babun itu tidak makan semuanya. Babun hanya hanya tertarik pada beberapa tumbuhan tertentu. Nah, pertanyaannya kenapa mereka tertarik pada itu? Kenapa tidak tertarik pada yang lain? Nah, itu kemudian harus kita kaji. Kenapa, ada apa sih? Kenapa cassava dia tidak suka? Mungkin karena cassava mereka butuh waktu. Butuh waktu untuk ngambilnya dicabut. Ya kan? Nah, pada hewan ketika mereka crop feeding itu ada resiko yang luar biasa. Dalam foraging teori, dalam foraging teori, setiap hewan untuk melakukan mencari makan, mereka harus memikirkan atau mengestimasi biaya yang dikeluarkan dengan manfaat yang diterima. Jadi ya, ketika mereka biaya terlalu tinggi, tapi returnnya tidak ada, mereka tidak mau. Nah, sekarang bagaimana kemudian kita sudah bayangkan monyet udah tahu nih, kalau masuk ke ladang mereka akan dibunuh. Itu costly banget. Tapi kenapa mereka masih mau untuk masuk? Artinya ada. Itu push factor. Itu memang mereka di push untuk harus masuk ke ladang karena nggak ada lagi makanan di dalam. Kalau nggak kita mati. Oke, ini cerita analoginya begitu. Kalau nggak kita mati. Jadi kita harus tetap masuk ke ladang. Pilihannya cuma dua. Nah, itu yang menyebabkan push factor tadi namanya. Ada lagi pull factor. Pull factor itu kemudian dia hanya tertarik aja. Padahal di hutan tuh masih banyak makanannya, tapi karena ini ada pepaya ya, kita coba yuk. Dia eksplorasi kayak gitu aja. Itu yang pull factor, didorong oleh keinginan mereka. Tapi kalau push factor tadi, mereka udah tahu bahayanya begini, tapi mereka tetap masuk. Nah, itu yang kemudian ya kita harus tahu kenapa mereka memang melakukan mencari makan di ladang. Apakah memang tidak ada ketersediaan pakan yang cukup? Mereka harus memaksa diri mereka untuk ke ladang. Karena begini, mereka harus tetap memperhitungkan cost and benefit mereka selama foraging. Mereka tidak akan mau memilah-milah, oke, ini harus gue makan, ini enggak. Tapi ketika mereka coba, oke, kita akan targetkan itu saja. Kita makan itu saja, udah. Kayak gitu. Tapi memang ada beberapa monyet yang kemudian ya mereka di lokasi yang kemudian mereka merusak semuanya. Berarti petaninya tidak berhasil menciptakan fear of landscape namanya. Landscape ketakutan. Jadi monyet itu nggak takut. Oke, nanti aja kita masuk. Paling dia cuma teriak doang. Mereka paling cuma ucek kayak gitu aja gitu. Gitulah kira-kira buat Tanti. Ya, kita harus tetap lihat secara spesifik karena ini case location, site and species spesifik.
Jadi bisa saja perilakunya berbeda-beda ya, Mas.
Bisa berbeda-beda.
Ya. Oke. Yang menarik itu tuh dipelajari itu teliti lebih lanjut kenapa monyet suka jengkol pada baunya nggak enak. Ya.
Yes, benar. Nutrisinya.
Apakah nutrisinya betul gitu. Nanti kalau dimakan jengkol, gimana Mas?
Apakah karena jengkol itu enak sama kayak kita makan jengkol kok enak ya gitu?
Gitu. Walaupun baunya nggak enak ya, tapi rasanya enak.
Enak. Yun.
Pinter
Ya,
masih.
nanti bakal ada fundingnya itu dari Mas Ilham.
Ya, tolong dicarikan fundingnya ya, Mas.
Boleh, boleh, boleh. Ya,
Makasih banyak Mas Ilham.
ya, makasih Bu Tanti.
Oke, di sini juga sudah ada pertanyaan di kolom chat, tapi di sini karena ada yang raise hand, kita silakan dulu. Please to Miss Fevi, maybe you can ask the question for both lectures because Mr. Yamato is still here. Please, Miss Fevi.
Oke, mungkin saya bertanya juga dalam bahasa Indonesia ya, Pak Ilham, Mas
Ya,
Ilham.
boleh.
Oke, ini dosen di Biologi UIN, Fakultas Studi Jambi, dan kebetulan kita saat ini Biologi UIN itu sedang kolaborasi riset itu dengan BKSDA dan BRIN tentang makaka juga. Nah, jadi kita kan mendasari penelitian ini kan berdasarkan tadi di slide-nya Mas Ilham kan itu ada yang menjelaskan bahwa di IUCN itu statusnya makaka adalah endangered gitu ya Mas ya.
Iya, benar.
Sedangkan di lapangan nih yang kita temuin ketika kita melakukan penelitian studi populasi itu sangat melimpah malah gitu ya. Jadi kan ini bagi saya sendiri pun itu menjadi bias sangat membingungkan apakah benar di IUCN ini tuh makaka itu memang statusnya endanger atau malah dia malah vulnerable gitu kan sebelumnya malah melimpah atau malah akhirnya nanti akan di overpopulasi gitu kan di
benar.
terutama dan hasil yang kita temukan memang sangat melimpah gitu Mas ya di Jambinya itu saya mau tanya pendapatnya Mas Ilham terkait itu statusnya tadi. Kemudian yang kedua kita juga memilih
Apa Kak?
ya itu kan berdasarkan adanya laporan konflik. Nah,
Ya,
itu
benar.
kita ambil dari konflik dari petani dan juga dari perusahaan. Nah, kebanyakan ada beberapa perusahaan yang memang melaporkan gitu. Mungkin kalau petani kita bisa mensuggest mereka untuk mungkin bisa di ini ya diganti cropnya seperti yang sarannya Mas Ilham tadi. Cuman kalau perusahaan seperti PTPN itu kan skalanya udah gede ya Mas ya dan tanamannya juga monokultur kan sawit semua gitu. Jadi kita kan ketika saya melakukan penelitian itu mereka menanyakan gimana nih Mbak solusinya gitu kan karena mereka sudah sangat mengganggu gitu. Mereka juga udah berupaya melakukan berbagai hal gitu untuk mengusir gitu ya mengusir makaka itu cuman kenyataannya yaitu tetap karena terlalu luas dan tidak terdeteksi yang akhirnya ya membuat menurunkan cost-nya menurunkan ininya mereka ya pemasukan gitu akhirnya. Nah, jadi saya juga sebagai yang melakukan penelitian juga nggak bisa memberikan impact apa-apa ke mereka gitu. Jadi kalau yang skala petani mungkin kita masih bisa ya mungkin di kelapa atau selama ibu gitu kan menanam ini. Cuman kalau perusahaan kan nah mungkin dari sisi Mas Ilham kalau ketika perusahaan ataupun ya yang perusahaan-perusahaan gede yang itu kan bagaimana gitu kita menyarankan karena kan mereka pasti bertanyanya ke akademisi ya.
Iya, benar.
Kira-kira solusinya apa gitu. Dan kalau untuk yang di masyarakat kan mereka memang sudah ada yang bertindak yang seperti itu dibunuh karena kan mereka bilang ini kan nggak dilindungi gitu. Kebanyakan dibunuh. Sebenarnya kan yang itu tadi kalau dibunuh kan juga dampaknya kan sangat besar gitu. Mungkin saya minta pendapatnya Mas Ilham gitu terkait hal tersebut. Ya, terima kasih.
Ya, terima kasih Mbak Vivi. Kalau boleh tahu Mbak Vivi melakukan penghitungan di wilayah hutan atau di wilayah di mana?
Jadi kemarin kita banyak Mas ada yang di hutan lindung kita ada kemarin kemudian di pemukiman warga pokoknya menggambarkan mendeskripsikan semua yang kemungkinan ada makakanya itu hutan sekunder kemudian sungai kemudian perumahan atau pemukiman itu kita melakukan penghitungan kemarin.
Berapa jumlah individu yang ditemui maksimal berapa?
3.000 lebih ada kayaknya.
Satu kelompok berapa?
Satu kelompok itu paling banyak kita temuin ada 60.
60. Berarti
60 individu.
Oke. Jadi monyet itu average-nya memang di 60 sampai 50-an itu normal average-nya begitu. Nah, kita tentu gimana ya? Begini. Critical endangered itu kemudian diklarifikasi, direklasifikasi ulang berdasarkan treat hari ini. Apakah treatnya itu biomedical research, apakah jual beli monyet yang luar biasa, yang kemudian konflik dengan manusia. Ya, kita tahu hari ini mereka, anggaplah Mbak menemukan 3.000 individu, dan kita bisa cek 2 tahun lagi, dan berapa mereka jumlah apa, terutama mereka yang punya konflik. Nah, ada ilusi yang namanya persepsi yang salah ketika melihat monyet itu ya. Contoh di taman wisata, ada sekitar 100 monyet, ya kan? Nah, orang berpikir bahwa monyet di mana-mana itu banyak, 100. Walaupun mereka lihat tempat wisata, misalnya provisioning sites, itu bisa increase populasi mereka itu sampai double, ya kan? Nah, kemudian ketika kita melihat itu, kita beranggapan bahwa monyet itu banyak di mana-mana. Yang kemudian yang kita concern adalah mengenai populasi yang sejauh ini ya, apalagi terbaru penelitian penelitian yang kita coba untuk protes adalah kesalahan estimasi populasi. Itu paling banyak disalahkan, terutama peneliti-peneliti Indonesia yang kemudian mengestimasi populasi monyet itu berapa, bagaimana cara metode yang pas segala macam, dan kita sering overestimated. Nah, contoh saya penelitian di Gunung Padang itu provisioningnya tinggi sekali dan saya tidak menemukan bahwa mereka melebihi dari 100-200 individu per kelompok. Stabil di angka 135. Ada aja yang bikin mereka mati. Ada kecelakaan jalanan segala macam, diburu orang segala macam. Nah, kalau kita lihat secara site spesifik, kita memang memandang monyet itu masih banyak. Tapi ketika kita generalkan di semua lokasi, dan kita mengetahui bahwa mereka udah nggak ada lagi. Di tempat Mbak banyak, tapi di provinsi lain misalnya, itu nggak ada. Atau di daerah lain itu nggak ada. Jadi imajinasi yang tercipta ketika kita melakukan penelitian di satu lokasi, oh mereka masih banyak kok. Iya, di sana iya, tapi tidak tempat lain. Contoh, saya tahun kemarin kami melakukan survei di Langkat, Sumatera Utara. 30 km kita jalan. Selama seminggu kita tidak menemukan satu pun monyet. Tapi di desa sebelah, itu ada. Banyak. Nah, seharusnya di lokasi A ini ya, kita seharusnya ini ada monyetnya nih. Nggak mungkin nggak ada. Kita nggak menemukan sama sekali. Setelah kita ngobrol, ternyata orang di sana itu makan monyet. Memang diburu sama mereka. Nah, desa satu lagi yang dekat ke arah Aceh, mereka nggak makan monyet. Mereka ada. Jadi kalau kita lihat secara site spesifik, memang mereka ada beberapa yang abundance. Tapi di site yang lain, itu mereka sudah nggak ada. Nah, ketika kita compare informasi ini, dan melihat distribusi potensi habitat monyet ekor panjang dengan sejumlah ini, udah mereka nggak bisa lagi dikategorikan sebagai vulnerable. Mereka dikategorikan sebagai endangered. Itu pertamanya. Jadi kita harus ya tetap melakukan observasi besar-besaran. Kita sedang melakukan ini hari ini, mulai dari Langkat kita ke Kalimantan dan juga di beberapa wilayah di Bengkulu. Mungkin nanti saya akan ke Jambi juga. Nah, itu 3.000 di berapa kilometer wilayahnya, Mbak?
Kalau kemarin itu kita, kalau yang untuk beberapa set itu kita pakai point count aja Mas, cuman kalau yang untuk
Berapa
pakai
kilometer?
banyak sih Mas. Kemarin kita ada 7 kabupaten, 7 kabupaten. Ada berapa set gitu di beberapa kabupaten gitu.
Kita berarti anggaplah satu point count-nya itu per kilometer ya kan, grid-nya per kilometer. 7 kabupaten loh Mbak, 3.000.
Iya.
Jadi Mbak bisa bagi rasionya berapa per poin sebenarnya. Dan kemudian estimasi dengan wilayah sebesar itu 3.000 suitable nggak sih bagi mereka? Ini cocok nggak sih? Atau mereka masih dalam keadaan normal?
Ya, itu
Atau mereka memang overabundance ya kan?
Kita lagi ngolah data juga karena penelitiannya masih berlangsung Mas gitu.
Masih berlangsung ya. Ya itu 7 kabupaten. 7 kabupaten 3.000 ya lumayan kecil sih.
7 titik, 7 kabupatennya itu di kabupatennya ada 3, Tanjabat, Tanjab Tim, Muaro Jambi sama Kota ada 4 gitu. Yang paling banyak kan kita temuin di perkebunan itu sama di PTPN itu.
PTPN ya.
Ya itu kita pakai line transect kan yang perpendikular itu memang kita ketemunya banyak banget di sana. 700 mungkin dengan luasan PTPN itu puluhan hektar kayaknya sih.
Puluhan hektar ya. PTPN puluhan hektar. Oke, bisa jadilah. Nah, kemudian untuk yang kasus PT tadi, Mbak, saya pernah kerjasama dengan PT Pupuk Sriwijaya. Saya udah pernah sarankan ke mereka, satu-satunya cara Pupuk Sriwijaya itu adalah mengerjakan orang untuk patroli aktif. Harus aktif patrolinya. Jadi kita udah tahu kalau Mbak baca penelitiannya Hills di Afrika Selatan dan beberapa penelitian lain yang di Sumatera Utara dengan metode guarding secara interval 2 kali sejam, 2 jam sekali itu efektif untuk mengusir monyet. Mereka nggak masuk. Nah, masalahnya kita kan nggak mau put effort di sana. Orang nggak mau itu mau keliling interval buat ngejaga petani lahan mereka. Dan kemudian perceived resiko. Kita harus lihat dulu, emang iya monyet akan berdampak segitu besar untuk perkebunan sebesar itu gitu. Nah, orang kan cuma tahu ketika monyet makan, luar biasa Mbak hasilnya. Wow, habis semuanya gitu. Nah, kita nggak tahu perceived loss ini selalu exacerbated mereka. Mereka selalu dilebih-lebihkan. Ya kan? Dengan PTPN sebesar itu, saya pernah mengalami kejadian ini dengan pupuk Sriwijaya. Walaupun mereka ada beberapa ladang, ini besar Pak. Setelah kita asesmen nggak ada yang besar. Dan mereka sarankan memang untuk harus patroli di sana. Mereka harus regular patroli. Bisa jarang itu.
Oke, terima kasih banyak Mas Ilham.
Ya, ditunggu diskusinya Mbak Devi, Mbak Fevi ya.
Ya, Mas. Nanti saya boleh minta kontaknya ke Pak Bayu ya, Mas ya.
Iya, boleh Mbak.
Ya, terima kasih. Di sini udah banyak pertanyaan di kolom chat nih, Mas. Okay, maybe this question could be answered by you and also Prof. Yamato Suji also. There is many question. Maybe we start from the English question. But first, before the question in chat book, there is Mr. Bayu that want to ask question. Please, Mr. Bayu.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Sampai jumpa dah. Lama kita nggak jumpa.
Iya.
Terakhir kita ketemu 2018.
Iya, 2018, benar Bayu.
Udah 5 tahun kita nggak jumpa.
Ya.
Dan kita dipertemukan saat online ini. Sedikit mau konfirmasi tentang riset lapangan, Ini tentang pengamatan perilaku. Jadi kalau misalnya kita mengamati perilaku satwa, terutama di primata, di alam liar kita lebih enak pakai vokal sampling atau scan sampling ya. Karena kalau untuk pengamatan bioritme itu sepertinya untuk primata seperti makaka itu belum banyak penelitian tentang bioritme makaka di alam liar. Nah, tapi konsekuensinya kan kalau kita pengamatan menggunakan vokal atau scan sampling tentang bioritme, kita harus terus memantau pergerakan makaka ini. Apakah ada metode khusus untuk pengamatan bioritme pada makaka di lokasi lapangan, mungkin di hutan dan lain sebagainya. Seperti itu. Nah, pertanyaan yang kedua saya mau menyambung dari pertanyaannya Mbak Pepi. Itu tentang ini. Status IUCN itu kan kalau makaka ini kan sudah bahaya ya statusnya ya, dan secara global juga sudah memberikan warna merah tentang populasi dari makaka. Nah, bagaimana tentang appendix 1? Karena aku melihat makaka ini belum masuk dalam appendix 1 sehingga perdagangan secara internasional, pemanfaatan secara internasional, makaka ini belum ada aturan ataupun regulasi secara resmi seperti itu. Nah, kalau misalnya di negara-negara, mungkin di negara Asia, Eropa, dan lain sebagainya, mungkin aturan itu dibuat hanya dilihat dari beberapa negara saja, tapi tidak secara global. Sedangkan appendix 1 itu kan sudah mengatur perdagangan secara internasional. Nah, ini bagaimana kedepannya nasib makaka ini nanti kedepannya dah.
Alright.
Itu dah.
Oke, thank you Bayu. Nah, untuk masalah metode, scan sampling itu lebih ke general. Kita bisa pakai misalnya untuk mengetahui activity budget misalnya. Nah, tapi kita bisa combine scan sampling dengan continuous recording vocal animals, right? Jadi misalnya begini, Mas Bayu pengen lihat aktivitas mereka. Apa saja makan, foraging segala macam. Nah, ketika Mas Bayu ingin tahu mereka makan apa nih? Makan biji, makan daun tanpa buah. Kita bisa pakai yang namanya vocal animal sampling. Ya kan? Kita pakai vocal animal sampling, kita tentukan hewan vokalnya apakah individu dewasa, betina dewasa atau jantan dewasa, yang kita pengen lihat aktivitas feeding mereka bagaimana. Nah, itu dari awalnya kita scan. Lalu kita melihat mereka makan, sebagai contoh, lalu kita bisa stop scan-nya, lalu continuous dengan vokal animal tadi. Vokal animal tadi ada yang menggunakan 20 menit observasi, ada yang menggunakan 15 menit observasi, tergantung kita. Jadi scan sampling itu adalah aktivitas secara general. Lalu kalau kita menggunakan metode vocal animal sampling dengan recording rule-nya ya pakai continuous recording, nah itu bisa untuk mendapatkan behavior yang lebih detail. Gitu. Nah, kemudian untuk yang CITES, alhamdulillah sekarang monyet ekor panjang lagi ditinjau kembali statusnya di CITES. Jadi kemarin pertemuan COP di Bogota di Kolombia, saya ikut memberikan presentasi di sana, dan kemudian akhirnya para tim reviewer CITES kemudian mereview kembali mengenai legalitas perdagangan monyet ekor panjang, dan kita harus menunggu kalau nggak salah sidang kedua mereka bulan ini, dan kita mudah-mudahan kita dapat kejelasan mengenai CITES. Pendeknya.
Oke, jadi mungkin nasibnya kayak ini. Kemarin kami juga mengikuti pertemuan nasional dengan KLHK itu tentang bagaimana status perdagangan murai batu sama cucak rowo. Karena beberapa negara itu sudah memberi warna merah. Dan Indonesia sebenarnya populasi dari murai batu sama cucak rowo itu masih relatif banyak, tapi nggak tahu kenapa ya dari negara-negara lain itu sudah mengusik tentang populasi dari murai batu sama cucak rowo. Sementara kalau kita melihat cucak rowo dan murai batu kan lebih banyak sebenarnya populasinya di Indonesia daripada di negara-negara lain seperti mungkin Filipina, negara-negara Asia Tenggara. Mereka lah yang mengusulkan tentang murai batu sama cucak rowo itu masuk ke dalam Appendix 1. Tapi sampai saat ini saya belum melihat lagi ya perkembangannya seperti apa hasil dari pertemuan terakhir di Kolombia kalau nggak salah. Itu kemarin ada yang
di Bogota saya ikut itu.
Ya, oh ikut juga udah.
Ya ikut tuh memberikan presentasi mengenai konflik human primat di Indonesia. Ikut saya.
Jadi ini memang case yang menarik ya kalau kita melihat dari sisi ilmiahnya bagaimana konflik-konflik primata, mungkin satwa dengan manusia dan lain sebagainya. Dan mungkin ini bisa nanti menstimulus mahasiswa-mahasiswa dosen biologi untuk terus berkolaborasi mungkin, dan kami siap menerima di Jambi jika Prof. Suji dan Da Ilham datang di Jambi, insya Allah kami siap memfasilitasi. Tadi juga saya sudah kontak sama Prof. Suji, insya Allah kedepannya mungkin kita akan terus berkolaborasi.
Itu tadi ya, untuk CITES kita masih menunggu kalau nggak salah bulan November ini mereka rapat kedua, rapat evaluasi.
CITES ya.
Ini ada pertanyaan, Suji Sensei, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, I think there is some question for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, actually.
Yang di chat, yang di box Mbak.
Iya. Mungkin satu aja ya, karena waktu kita limited. Okay, Prof. Suji, there is one question in chat box for you. From
the bahasa.
Iya, bahasa.
Yang mana ya?
So yang paling bawah. So he's asking like Vina. I think it's Vina asking something important.
Oh yeah, okay. There is one question from Vina Eka to Prof. Suji. What factor that cause lutung disperse the seed have the lower seed disperse than macaca?
Yeah. Do you mean the germination or which kind of factors? It's
differentiation. Seed differentiation.
I think the question is the quantity of seeds.
Yes.
Why is the
quantity?
Yes. Why is the lutung is more lower than macaque? Yes, Sensei.
Yeah. Because diversity of the fruits diet is much narrower than macaque. So that is a lower diversity of the seeds. But lutung like ficus and Kiara so much, so they eat so much. So number of seeds per single species is much greater than monyet. Yeah. So maybe I may misunderstand your question. So it's okay to
Yeah.
can I
Okay, got it.
answer to your question?
Yes, yeah. This question is just about it. Why is lutung is having the quantity of seed dispersed is much lower than the macaque? Yeah.
Quantity.
Yeah, quantity is number of seeds they are dispersed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
today I thought the quantity of the dispersed seed is much greater than macaque, not lower.
Okay. So I think she is get confusing about this one.
Yeah.
The diversity is narrower, but amount of seed is greater.
Is greater, right? Okay.
Yeah.
One more. There is one question is about the Marsanda. So Suji Sensei, she asking about the people hunts the langur. And what conservation effort we can provide to the general publics to reduce the huntings langur by the people.
I see. For conservation, yeah. Compared to macaque, the number of the population of the luton is very restricted, and it's endangered so much. But as I today talk, and related contribution for the forest ecosystem is very great. So we, including Indonesian people, pay much attention to such endangered species and to need to make conserve act. So that is very important. So illegal hunting should be, how to say, banned, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will add something for Marshanda. So the way we need to reduce how we can put conservation effort is to educate people, is to raise their awareness, because we are biologists. We can know about conservations when we get through to the biology department, right? So we just know about conservation just earlier, just recently. So the people in outside, they are not getting to the university. They don't know about conservation. They don't know about why you don't need to prevent me or to to how to say that? Tidak membunuh mereka, tidak membunuh monyet. Jadi so we need to increasing people awareness, going to them and tell them this is a species, this is getting endangered, because they don't know about that one.